Hello YouTube, this is Shirley426, and today we have the review of the P-Bandai exclusive, or P-Bandai exclusive, HGUC Pale Rider Todesritter. And so this variant has been on the waiting list for a long time among the Pale Rider fan group for some reason. So before that we had two more Pale Rider variants. So we had the original Pale Rider ground equipment type. The one you see on the back on my camera is the Expo exclusive because I could not find the original. And then we had with the same mold or similar mold, we had the space variant, which came with a big giant Gatling gun, and that was pretty okay. Problem is, up to this point, for those who have tried the Pale Rider kit, the HGUC version, it is very sticker heavy because while the articulation was okay, the sticker aspect was not that great. Because for those who don't know, the Pale Rider has this mode called the Hades system, kind of similar to the exam system of the Blue Destiny unit, but the Hades, when the unit uses the Hades system, the vents, their original gray vents turn into like goldish or yellow color going on here. So because of that aspect, most of the Pale Rider kits are very sticker heavy on that aspect. So the Todesritter is no exception as well, and as you can see, it is a very tall kit, very tall, to the point where some joints, like the side joints or side swivel joints, are kind of similar to master grade joints, but in a different size. You should know what I mean by that. So yeah, and this kit is not really ideal for straight builders, or if you were basically expecting something amazing from this kit, I would suggest you rethink about that. Hopefully my review will help you out with that, to figure out what that means. But for now, let's get on to the review. So let's go over all components. So as usual, you get the mold suit itself, the Pale Rider Todesritter. For those who don't know, after the battle, after the Pale Rider space type got damaged, the Zeon basically took over the Pale Rider and slapped on a bunch of Zeon technology on it. So which is why you can see that despite being a Federation mold suit base, it has a lot of edge, a lot of edgy looking parts going on here. So yeah, it's been kind of force-fed with Zeon technology, which is why I don't think it's a ideal mobile suit. Kit-wise, also not really ideal, but you'll see what I mean. So other than that, we get a buttload of stuff going on here. So let's see what we got other than that. So here are the usual components. So first of all, we get 4 beam saber effect parts. So they're all yellow, but 2 of them should be longer than the other 2. So we have a standard length, and then we have a slightly longer one. 2 of them. Because 2 are for the beam sabers on the there should be some beam saber hilts on the hands on the arms right over there, as you can see, and then the other 2 are for the large beam sabers on the backpack you see, which are held held by the sub arms. I'll be doing demonstrations of those later, so keep that in mind. And I just dropped another beam saber effect part, and then here we have the shield. I'm pretty sure they just recycled the HGUC Bao shield, which is why we don't get any part separation. It's just one single piece from the front, and there is another piece here, but you get the idea. So everything here has to be stickers. There has to be white stickers here, black, red, everywhere. So I didn't even bother these because honestly, the shield is not that great, and I'm pretty sure, and the connection isn't that great as well. So which is why I don't even bother trying to use the shield as well. So yeah. You'll see in the demonstrations. And then we have this rifle. I'm not sure if this is an entirely new weapon. I am aware of which mobile suit that uses this beam rifle, but for this kit, it's not really ideal. I'll show you what I mean by that. But once again, we get a sticker for the scope, and that's pretty much it. And you just slap 2 pieces together. And here we have a action-based connector. I would have preferred a simple HG style action-based connecting point where it's just a hole and it can just put a peg in, but now they have this, which requires a larger action base, which I do not like because that action base eats up a lot of space on my setup. So yeah, and we get one of these wires. So these wires are for I forgot what these are called, but they're basically like cutter weapons. You launch these out, and then they'll be spinning around and attacks your opponent. So these are to use for those effect parts. Now you should be able to see 6 wires here, but originally it comes with 2 very long wires, and you have to cut them in each in 3 pieces, so you get 6 of them. So just keep. But yeah, I did cut them off, but they don't really work that well. I'll also demonstrate that, but their connection isn't that strong. And finally, here we have some leftover pieces. So number one, we have the blue visor. So currently, as you can see, I use the red visor. Hence, was the Hades mode. If you don't want to go with the Hades mode, just the standard Pale Rider mode, like the space type you see on the back over there, this is the visor you use. And then here we have some leftover polycaps. And let's see what we got for stickers. It's a huge sticker sheet. Yes, I know it's sticker heavy. I already told you guys that. So up to this point, if you bought a Pale Rider, or if you're expecting more Pale Rider kits, you should expect a lot of stickers. Yes, I did pre-order the Pale Rider Cavalry, and that is no exception. So you should be able to see two colors. So there's a gold one and a brown, a gray one. So the gray is the standard color. So if you want to go with the Pale Rider that's not using Hades, you use those stickers. If you're going with the the Hades system, you have to use the gold colors, and camera wise you have to use the red ones, even the eyes. So I'll try to point out on which area that the sticker has to go, but at this point you might not want to know at all. But basically, any vents on this kit, expect a sticker. That's the best way I can explain. And cameras, of course. Sorry about that. Now let's get this off the stand, and let's start some comparisons before we go over articulation. So the Pale Rider Todesritter is a very tall kit compared to standard HG kits. The previous Pale Riders, they are pretty much your standard HG size kit. So as you can see, it's much taller. So keep that in mind. And yes, for those who were asking on Facebook, it's a new mold. I don't know why you would ask that, because I'm pretty sure it was pretty obvious at this point. But yes, as you can see, I don't see any similarities at this point, kit-wise. Sometimes you just gotta, look and, figure out for yourself. Just saying. Alright, so let's go over the articulation. So I'm gonna say, as I mentioned, the balance of this kit is not that great, because of the huge backpack and heels for feet. It does not have the great balance. Actually, it's kind of unstable time to time. Alright, so let's start with the head. The head, I actually really love the design here. I actually like the head, and as I mentioned, I went with the red visor here. And behind the red visor is the eye sticker. And then, as you can see on each cheeks, there are these vents with the gold colors. Those are stickers as well. You might see some gold colored paint here that I just colored them for fun. Technically, you have to use a sticker, but once again, it also has all those white parts on the sticker, so I decided not to use them as well. And on the forehead, that gold sticker is a sticker as well, so I guess I should have colored that as well. Now, be careful with the horn on the middle. That is kind of fragile. But it can go down that much, up not so much. And 360 twist, I don't think it's possible, because something is blocking the way. I think it's just the overall design joint here, and the back of the head. There is a part that's poking downwards, hence it not allowing you to go 360. Now, before we go with the arms, let's look at the backpack. The backpack makes this kit very back heavy. I did not have any problems without the backpack, but after applying the backpack, it got really hard to balance, or kind of unstable. So we have these fuel canisters, nothing too special here. These are, I believe they are on ball joints right over here, so they can move up and down a bit, and then can move side to side a bit. And they're about to pop out. There we go. There we go. So you can pop those out if you don't like them. Here we have more stickers. We have another gold sticker here, and on the back skirt here, more gold sticker and more vent stickers right over here. Any vents you see is pretty much a sticker. And then here we have a red camera. So once again, if you were going with the regular non-Hades mode, you should have a green sticker right over here. And here we have more beam saber hilts, so they are also on joints, so you can move up and down as well. And you can move side to side as well. And all you need to do is just pop them out, and there you go. Now, these beam sabers are very bulky. These are not meant for the hands. These are meant for the sub arms. Hence, this is where you store the beam saber hilt onto the back. But this is also the hole that you use to connect the beam saber hilts to the sub arms. I will be demonstrating that later. And yes, and then finally we have the spinners. I forgot the exact term for these, but so we have these wing parts. So they are on very short pegs. I do not like these. There is a polycab in there, and they somehow use short pegs. They should have gone with longer pegs. So because these things keep trying to pop out. Every time I move them, they get looser and looser, and then they just pop out. So once again, I have some questions regarding the reason on that. But with that, you are able to move it up and down like that, and also move side to side like this. And since there is another connector, another joint here, you can fold them to the back like this. And then finally on the wings, the cutters, you can pull you pull them out like that. Let me just detach these at this point. So you can pull them out and you can see a hole there. And that hole is pretty much meant for these. You pretty much connect the wires to those holes, but of course they don't go in that easily. So as you can see, you have to really push them in. And once again, if the wires are too long, there is another problem here. And then if you look at the bottom section, there's another squarish hole there. So you connect the wire to the other section here, and if you're not careful, they will pop out. And once you got it in, so that's pretty much what you do. Of course, I think the wires are too long, so maybe cutting them into a more shorter lengths might be much more easier. I'm not going to be demonstrating these because I am not a big fan of these wire effect parts. But you get the idea now. And once again, we have another sticker, a very long white sticker here with a gold color in it. But once again, if it's a regular mode, then you go with the gray ones. Alright. We've seen the backpack, and let me just get rid of the parts that keeps falling off, so for easier balance. Alright, so we've seen that. Now let's look at the body. Now the body, nothing too special. I mean, I really like the body design here. Those white chest parts are very cool. I really like the aspect, and supposedly, or technically, there should be a sticker behind that, but yeah, I forgot to apply the stickers, and I was kind of feeling a little bit lazy. And even though I did apply the gold stickers, I technically applied some gold paint behind them, and they didn't really show that well. So yeah, just keep that in mind. So I think they did a pretty good job on those parts, but overall it's just sticker heavy in general. So the arms are your standard ball jointed arms where you can go forward and backward like that. Pretty good range if you ask me. And then you can go 360 on the arm. And here we have another beam saber hilt right over here. And then let me see. Okay, so we can move. The bend is pretty good, very well done bend on that aspect. So once again, the arms are okay. I actually really like the arms and shoulder parts. And here's another sticker here. And let's see what we got. So on the arms here is the shield connector, which is a square hole, and you connect it to the square peg that's on the shield, but it's not a ideal connection or the design because there's no way to rotate the shield once it's on the arm. So very, very not well done for the shield. It might sound like that I'm really criticizing this kit. It's just that there's some parts that I really wanted to like this kit, but it's just there are these small aspects that kind of drags it down. Now for the sub arms, I really like the sub arms actually on this one. So it's very well done. You just pull these up, and then you need to pull this section right over here, which I'm touching. You pull it out. There are multiple sliding gimmicks here. There's one actually on the arm as well. I'll get into that later. And once you have it there you go. You can rotate the arm forward and backward. Not as much as you think, but still a good amount. And then you can move the arms as well. And you can open these claws, and you can see a small peg over there. That's where you connect the the beam sabers, the big ones. So the small ones don't have those holes. So yeah, I'm pretty sure you're not going to be using the small ones on there. And I believe the arms, according to the manual, the arms do also have a sliding gimmick here. Hopefully I can show you guys that. Yeah, I think I just extended the joints a little bit. So you can push it up make it look like your standard one, and then you can push it slightly. You can pull it down to give it a more extra range and extension going on here. Yeah, it's not really that noticeable as much as you think, but still there is an extension here. There you go. You kind of get a click noise there, but not as much as you think. And what I also like is that you also still have your rotation here, but what they also had, they added an extra tooth here, so even though I pull it, the arm does not fall off. So they actually did put some engineering consideration on the arms. I'm very impressed on that part. So you can still rotate that, but the arms will not pop out when you pull it in this position. You have to rotate the arm into a certain angle, and then you should be able to detach it. Now the upper body is fine. I actually really like the upper body. Now the waist section, I really don't like these cables. Every time I see a Zeon mobile suit, I really never like these cables going on because they always get in the way, and this one is no exception as well. So let me just detach the backpack, what I mean. So with the backpack, it actually makes the kid very back heavy to the point where the kid might, when you're trying to balance the kid might fall to the back section right over here. And if this goes on constantly, sometimes you will find the body starting to detach from the waist because the only connection from the main top body and the waist section is a polycap ball joint. So not the best connection, and yet the kid is slightly back heavy, which is not the ideal situation here. So the cables are connected here. It's all around the kit, but I don't think that should affect the body range movement. So you are able to go 360 without the backpack, but with the backpack, that's not even going to be possible. So keep that in mind. So let me just reattach the backpack. Just wanted to show you guys also the attaching and detaching the backpack was pretty easy. I can try, but once again, there are some parts colliding. So if you force it, you should be able to do so. Now, the front skirt, they also come in a single piece, but you are able to divide them in two. And same goes for the back skirt piece. There's also a ball joint, two ball joints connected, but of course, there is one more piece where you need to cut off, and it's between these sections right over here. There is a plastic, connecting part, so you have to cut those off if you want to have separate back skirt pieces as well. And then we have these side skirts that move pretty well. And then the front skirts, yes, these are supposed to be stickers. I just decided to color them in gold once again here. And then here we have another sticker here, kind of a questionable place, but still there is a sticker. And then on the bottom section here, this place is also supposed to be covered up with a sticker, but I personally thought that was very unnecessary since not many people are going to see this part as well. Now the waist section, they did pretty, I was kind of impressed with certain parts because they, now it's kind of common these days, but once again, the style they did this was very master grade-ish style. So we have this giant joint size hole joint going on here, and then we have this connection, which definitely looks like a master grade connection here. And we also have the part where you can reposition the size/legs going on here. So pretty impressive. I guess because of the size of the kit, they had to go with something more stronger. That's my guess here. And then the legs can go forward that much. Back also should be able to go, sorry about that, a good range. But once again, the back skirt is actually blocking the way. And then and you should have a nice side swivel going on here. And we have a kind of a awkward bend here. So if you just bend it, it may not bend. It may feel like or see like there's no double jointed bends, but this is what you do. So you have this vent here. You pull. Oops, sorry about that. You pull this to the back. There's a lot of sliding gimmicks here, and you get actually more range of movement going on here. So keep that in mind. So I would assume some people might get the wrong idea, and I just popped off the leg. Sorry about that. Yeah, as you can see, I really wanted to like this kit, but there's just so many small issues I'm having with the kit. So yeah, but still, the articulation, if you know what to deal with, there shouldn't be any problems, and it has pretty well done articulation. And the feet, once again, I'm not really sure on the point of having high heels, but I believe the Todesritter was only used in space, so I guess this shouldn't really matter too much in a sense, I guess. So we have a nice ball jointed feet. There's no bending point on the feet, and then we have these flaps that can move up and down, and the back armor can also move up and down as well. And these white sections here, only the gold or yellow parts are stickers. So once again, if you're not going with the Hades mode, you should be having the gray stickers. Okay, other than that, the part I did not show would be the legs that can go about 90 degrees to the side, almost 90 degrees. It's just that the range is slightly off because of the side skirts. Alright, so we've seen the basics of the kit. I'll be right back with the demonstration of its equipment. Okay, so currently I reattached everything. I detached, and then I basically gave the beam rifle and the shield. So okay, so the beam rifle, so here's what's going on here. Let me just take off the shield for now. So because of its length and bulkiness, you have to pretty much hold it almost with the arm straight. I mean, you can slightly bend it, give it a small bend, but once again, that starts colliding with the shoulder part here. So because of this, I tried doing the old technique of where you put the back section to below the armpit, but once again, for some reason, the length does not match up that well. And yeah, the best I could do is like this, but once again, that starts looking a little bit awkward going on here. It could be just because maybe this rifle was not originally meant for this mobile suit. So once again, if you want to aim, you have to pretty much move or rotate the entire arm going on here. And also, because of the handle design, you have to detach the handguard and then reattach to the weapon. So just keep that in mind as well. But yeah, if you like this beam rifle, good for you, and it does work, but not the way how you would expect, like how a regular Federation mobile suit would use its beam rifle. Now the shield, the main reason why I did not like the shield is, number one, the color is that it's very, they pretty much recycled the Baowu shield. And then number two, the shield connector is on the bottom. I'm not a big fan of when the shield connector is on the bottom section here. I usually prefer it like if there's an option or there's another joint that allows you to connect to the side here. But once again, if you have it on the bottom here, you pretty much run out of a lot of like options here, because it constantly collides with a lot of pieces when you're trying to do stuff, and so you're pretty much only left with the option to rotate the arm to the side like this. And yeah, you are technically able to rotate the shield, but once again, I personally don't like this look as well, because I really don't like rotating the lower arm to make the shield go to the side. But this is just my preference. If you like it, that's totally up to you. Alright, so we've seen the basics of the weapon, so I'll be right back with the beam saber demonstrations now. As I mentioned, I'm not going to go with the wire actions because you pretty much know how they work, and they don't really work that well as you think. Okay, I'm back. So currently I'm doing the beam saber demonstration. So as I mentioned, the smaller beam sabers, they work on the hands very well, and the sub arms work extremely well. They worked way better than I expected, because I was pretty much expecting something like the Zeon, where like it would have like limited range of movement, but this one was very impressive. And so apparently last night what I did, I wasn't doing right, was that I could actually rotate these a little bit more than I expected. So you could pretty much reposition them anywhere you want. It was just that the first time I tried doing it, the joints were a little bit too stiff to the point where I wasn't really sure it was able to do so. So I think I already showed you guys the range of the arm, the regular arm. So I'll show you guys how much the sub arms can move. So let me get rid of some joints, some of the beam sabers, and let me just take them out. So okay, so as I mentioned, you start from here. You start from the top section right over here. So I'm not sure if this also counts as a articulation. So basically, you pull them out, and there you go. You pulled out the sub arm, and then you can rotate them 360. So that's very good. And then the bend wise, we have the first bend right over here on the main bottom, but this one is kind of limited onto the bottom section because of the connecting points. And then we have another connecting here, let me just move this to the front, and then we have another, there we go again. So here we have another joint here that can move a lot, actually more than 90 degrees. Of course, this is pretty much for the folding gimmick, but once again, I would consider this to be an articulation as well. So you can pretty much hold the beam saber in any position you want to do. So kind of like how General Grievous from Star Wars does it. So I think you can pretty much pull off a lot of good poses like him. And that's pretty much it for the review. So once again, these ones are very big, so you can't really hold them with the regular hand. So just keep that in mind. And even if you somehow find a way to do so, then you're kind of the small ones are kind of left behind. So I don't think it's really necessary for it to do so. Then again, there is the HGUC Double Zeta Gundam. I'm not sure how he holds the beam sabers on that kit, but I guess I should try that out in the future as well. So my final opinion on this kit is that it's pretty big. It's bigger than your standard HG kit. It has some interesting, technology. It has some interesting gimmicks here, but not all the gimmicks are executed very well. The sub arms, they did an excellent job on that, but the backpack and the overall balance of the kit, not that great. And sticker, I think that's going to be pretty much an issue with every Pale Rider kit that has the Hades system. Granted, there are certain Pale Rider variants without the Hades system, but who knows what they're going to do with those as well. Anyway, thank you for watching the review. This was the review of the HGUC Pale Rider Todesritter. Sorry for the messy review, but overall, I did have some expectations from this kit, but they weren't executed very well. So anyways, if you guys got any questions or requests, even comment below. I still have more stuff to buy and build and make reviews out, so please stay tuned. Until then, see you guys next time.